But now let's talk about these New Orleans Pelicans. This New Orleans Pelicans starting lineup: C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas. Then the bench: Jose Alvarado, Trey Murphy. Still got Jackson Hayes. Okay, Dyson Daniels. There's still more players. Willie Hernan Gomez, yes, and you got Najee Marshall. Devontae Graham still there. Like this team is deep, okay, deeper than the Mariana Trench in the Atlantic Ocean. You don't like that?
I
You
actually
don't know what
don't
the
know. No.
You never watched The Abyss? You never seen the Deep Blue Sea? You don't watch
No.
your water movies?
No. I
All right,
saw
bud.
Jaws once. Or I saw the beginning of
Once?
Jaws once.
You've seen only the beginning of Jaws? I've seen
Yeah, it was pretty good too.
all 5 of the Jaws. Jaws 1, Jaws 2, Jaws 3D, Jaws 4, and Jaws 5 when his son comes back and finishes the job. You haven't seen? I got them all on DVD, bro. I've seen them all like 3 times.
I know how the
That's
first
how
one
deep.
ends.
That's how deep the New Orleans Pelicans are. Their Jaws. All right, let's actually talk about this team. And on the whole, I actually think this is a team that is a lot better than people are thinking. And they just got better. The one thing is obviously we have to think about how will Zion Williamson adjust, and will a combination of Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and CJ McCollum hold up defensively? Like Herb Jones is there, and so is Jose Alvarado. But let's not act like this team doesn't have their own questions about, the team's defense. And as you guys just know, Zion Williamson continues to hype up social media, just hyping the hell out of himself. And you know why? Because the Pelicans have tried to temper it, but supposedly he dominated in a early light session 5-on-5 scrimmage. Okay, supposedly his strength, his speed, he basically made everyone look like children. And it's quite crazy because there's supposedly he looks incredible, the physique, and now he's wearing a hoop earring. I fuck with the big hoop earring. He had a little small hoop earring. Now he's got the big hoop earring. And Larry Nance Jr., who's supposedly really like good friends with Zion, is saying that it's like not hard to be impressed. And he was making a joke that Zion Williamson has pads under his jersey.
Like, that's what it's like.
Yeah, like that's how big Zion is.
He looks skinny.
But so with that being said, what are some of your thoughts of Zion Williamson, and what do you expect from him this year? And not only Zion Williamson, but these New Orleans Pelicans. I think the whole thing. I have nowhere. This team has so much offense, and they have rebounding. Really, I think the whole thing's defense. I don't know if you agree with me. It's this. I mean, there's a lot of teams like that, but like the New Orleans Pelicans, the thing that's holding them, they're a playoff team, no doubt about it. But the thing that's holding them from being considered contenders is right now is, can they be a top 10 defensive team? We're top 15. Top 15. You got to be at least top 15.
Yeah, it's possible for sure. They're a pretty deep team too. I know people have flaws with their bench. I think realistically, you really only need, Jose to do what he did in the playoffs. Same with Murphy. That's why you got guys like Larry Nance, Jackson Hayes. I don't know why. I don't know who the hell named him that. Jaxson. Lame as shit, but
wow,
they
you're
have
just
plenty
making
of
fun of
depth.
people's names.
Who names their kid Jackson with an X?
His mom's a Hall of Fame
Dork.
WNBA player.
His mom's a fucking dork.
Okay,
And
Hall of Fame
wants to
basketball
be
player.
like quirky or cool or something, and it's just like nobody likes dudes who are like named
Nobody
Jackson
likes
with an
you.
X. Name one cool Jackson with an X kid. I'll wait.
Jackson Hayes. You're just jealous because he made your name cool.
No, he definitely did not.
You have a white
He puts a slander on my name.
cornbread fed name.
That is not true.
Yeah.
That is no.
If you went back to Naperville in,
in Naperville right now.
1926, you would have been a corn husker. You would have been husking corn all day.
No. Anyways, they're really good. I mean, I do fear with with Zion, like what Thomas is saying, because, 27, 7, and 4 last year, rookie year, balled out too. It's really hard for a guy of his stature, I think, to keep his athleticism for an entire season. And the fact that he is just 1 year younger than me is pretty insane. But, do we have a weight count at him? Is he 285 still? Do we have a weight
He
update?
can't get over a certain amount of weight, so he'll be
Yeah.
fine weight wise. But I think the thing with this is that, look, this is a team that I think the New Orleans Pelicans, the only thing that could be better right now for them is that they get a rebrand and they stop calling themselves the Pelicans, because that's a fucking horrible name. But the New Orleans Pelicans right now are a team that have big dreams, lofty expectations that aren't lofty. They're actually within grasp. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, all-stars at the very least. Zion Williams, all-star. All three guys have all-NBA, have played at all-NBA levels. Brandon Ingram hasn't been on the all-NBA team. I think CJ has. CJ might not. But, all guys, who play at a very high level. Zion is an all-NBA top 10 player, top 20 player, fully healthy. Guys, in 85 games, has averaged basically 30 points on 60% from the field. All he needs is a three-point shot, you might argue. But even then, he doesn't really necessarily need it. But now you got guys like Trey Murphy off the bench and Jose Alvarado and Jackson Hayes. Okay, this is going to be something they have all the offensive talent to win any sort of shootout. And Zion Williamson is a guy who also is a facilitator. People think about, oh, Zion's going to score all these points, but Zion can rebound. Zion can, pass the rock. Zion's a guy who can just come in and make everyone around him better. So the Pelicans already had a good feeling and had a lot of confidence about the talent they have on this squad from last year's playoff run. But now that Zion Williamson continues on the trajectory he's shown to start training camp, this is going to be more than happy to jump onto the Zion Williamson and New Orleans Pelicans championship contention bandwagon, because it's going to start soon. I think they're going to come out and be tear it up. I don't know why I'm also so close, but fuck you.
Champion is pretty crazy. I think I need a fully healthy Zion for the entire season, which is possible and doable. I think the Dyson Daniels pick was amazing. I think their coach is amazing. I think Willie's one of the more underrated coaches in the NBA. I love the name the New Orleans Pelicans, by the way. I think that they're on the right track. And if it doesn't happen this year, they'll assess it, they'll tweak it. But you have a lot of valuable players on your team. No, their roster. And defensively, I do think they could get the job done. And if things don't look as such, they'll make the necessary adjustments, which is what I think we learned with getting CJ McCollum last season around the deadline. And you want to keep Zion. You want to retain Zion. So this team isn't afraid to make moves. And they have young talent. They have middle talent. They have veteran talent. Very talented team. I would not be surprised if they made it to the Western Conference Finals.
I just think this is a team that's easily going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. And at the very least, they're going to be a team that I think they could be – I really think they could be the Phoenix Suns of the last 2 years, but get the job done.